Well, hello, and welcome back, y'all. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter U. Yes, we are finally on our U build for our alphabet challenge, or alphabet build challenge. Anyway, as you can tell, we're doing the U. The shell of a U really, honestly, isn't that difficult. It's pretty simple. Not as simple as a T or an I, but it's pretty simple. So I got that part down just fine. I knew that I wanted the main bedroom to be back in the far right with a bathroom there next to it. And then where the kitchen and dining room ended up being was kind of where I wanted it to be anyway. So that part worked out just fine. The part that I was having trouble with was the bottom part of the U, the office, the second bedroom, and the living room. The office and the bedroom weren't too difficult because those are just, put it on the end and, figure it out as you go. But the problem that I was having was making the living room not so tiny. I wanted a functional living room, of course, but I needed something that wasn't, or I wanted something that wasn't like super duper small, since I was thinking it'd be a family of 3. So I had to play around with that. I removed walls every now and then. I switched the bedroom to the other side, or the second bedroom to the other side, which made it a little more feasible because it was closer to the bathroom. So I was like, well, duh, I should have done that in the first place. And then all your livable space is on the left side of the U. Then I had to figure out the living room, which was the toughest part. So I kind of took a step back and pulled away from it for a little bit and just kind of stared at it for a while and decided that the kitchen and the dining room, or the kitchen was way too big, which also made the dining room a little bit smaller. So once I figured that out, I was like, okay, that should be okay. And then I also moved the office kind of behind or below the living room so that it made a little bit more sense. And when I finally got that done, I was like, okay, it is roofing time, people. We got this. This is just a U, not that difficult. It's not going to be as easy as the T roofing, but we got this. It's no problem. It was a problem. It was a big, huge problem. I cannot tell you how long it took me to do this stupid roof, and it was because of these parts right here. My initial thought was to do, the hexagon roof or whatever. And, I was like, okay, no big deal. No. It was a big deal. It was a very, very big deal because it looked stupid. And then I tried to do, just the half-hipped roof or whatever. And that did not look good. It looked like a ranch house, like a farm ranch house. That didn't work. So I finally decided to bring out the hipped roofs all the way up to the front. And I was like, okay, I'll just put a pillar there, and I'll just do like a flower box or something. No big deal. But it was still not looking right to me. Something was way, way off. So as usual, I think I played around with the roof for probably 45 minutes or so, which I hate taking that time to do a roof. But, when you've got different angles and, weird shaped houses, the roofing is not going to be easy. And I didn't want it to be just like, I'll just throw a hipped roof on the whole thing and call it done. I wanted it to look nice. So I wanted to take my time and make it work. However, in taking my time making it work, it, kind of made me crazy. Anywho, beside the point, I suppose. I do end up readjusting the front a little bit more because right here where those corners are, it wasn't right. It just didn't look right to me. So eventually I do kind of fiddle around with that a little bit, and you'll see it in the final build when we walk through it, that it looks so much better the other way. And of course, I had to move it back a little bit so I had room for the stairs, because I always forget about that part. I always actually forget about the porch and the stairs, so it kind of messes it up a little bit. Oh yeah, here's where I'm adjusting the roof. So as you see, it looks so much better this way. So much better. And I'm glad I did it that way. It works with the pillars. It works with the roof lines. It all just worked out together. So hopefully you enjoy the finished product. I know I do. So make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe. Don't go anywhere. Just blink. Okie dokie. I am all done, and y'all, it looks good. It looks pretty good. There were a few things that I had some trouble with, and you kind of know what some of those were, but there were some few other things too in the decorating of this one. But I did add obviously some greenery and some flowers out here. As you can see, I also added some flowers in the flower pot, which I kind of forgot, or the flower box. I kind of forgot all about the flower box until actually I was almost done with all of this. And then I was like, oh crap. So I just added it anyway. But out here on the porch, we've got a nice little table to just sit and have some coffee or whatever. We also have a chessboard table out there. And yes, I did put the trash can in the front. There was nowhere in the back that I wanted to put it. So I felt that putting it in the front by the curb was a good idea. Now, there is one here in this Newcrest lot right in front of the house. So you could probably delete that and use this. I'm not sure, but I think you can. And as we go around to the backyard, which there isn't a lot, but I do have the monkey bars here for the kiddo. We've got a telescope. We do have a fire and smoke alarm system, some flower gardening pots there, and then you've got your patio grill table and ceiling fan with a tiny saucer inside. This plant keeps doing that. That plant? No, that window keeps doing that. Anyway, this is the entire exterior. Took me forever to find the right roof that would go with the right walls. I tried to do any kind of siding with some kind of brickwork on the bottom, but it wasn't working out for me. So this is what I did instead. And it's not a blue Suburban, but it is blue. Anyway, so let's go inside and I'll show you what I did. So as you walk in, sorry. What is happening? I'm so sorry. Would help if I was in free camera mode. But as you walk in the door, we're going to come down a little bit. You're greeted with the back door, which is fine, but we do have a little place to wipe your feet, hang up your coat and whatever. And then we've got a nice little bookcase over here with some clutter and stuff on the walls, along with an alarm pad, because you know those burglars will get you at some point. We have some wall decor up here, and that's it, because the rest of it is either a window or a wall door. So there was not much else that I could do there, but that's okay. It's kind of a simplistic home, so it works out. Through this door here is the office. It's a little on the dark side, but we love it. Little clutter on the desk with a very, very nice computer. Where did that go? My blinds are gone. Okay, I'll put those back, but it was that blind went on that window. And then we've got a bookshelf with an extra plant on top and then a plant there in the corner. And that is the entire office. Yay, so exciting. Anyway, here you've got the living room. It's very neutral tones, tan, light woods, dark woods, browns, things like that. TV with clutter on this table here, some games and whatnot, little plant. I love these couches. I really do. I love the Cozy Kitchen ones better. I do tend to want to use those a lot, but I do like these. I think they're very, very cute. We've got curtains on every window, different curtains for different rooms sometimes. Sometimes they're all the same. But that right there is the living room. Yay! Isn't it cool? Then through this doorway, or archway, we have the bluish dining room. Beautiful curtains, beautiful artwork. Love these chairs. I wish I could use them more often, but sometimes you just need the right ambiance, I suppose, to use them. Got some hanging plants and whatnot. Again, curtains as well. And then you go through this archway, and this is your kitchen. It's a little bit squishy. If I didn't add this tall counter here, it probably wouldn't have been as squishy, but I really like the way it turned out. I did this build differently than I usually do. I usually start with like the counters and then go from there. This time I started with, in all of the rooms, I started with the floor, then the wallpaper, and then like cabinetry, beds, the furniture pieces, and then the decor after that, which is like a totally backwards way of how I usually do my rooms, which, whatever works, I guess, but it's just not my usual. Anyway, we've got a microwave, some clutter over here in the corner, and then these shelves over here, they are staggered. So we've got the double shelf on the one side and then the double shelf on this side. And I just made sure that they were not lined up. So that way there's no glitching. And it's very, very cool. Got some cookies and some cookbooks up there, plates and whatnot. And I forgot to delete that plant down there. I had to place something in all of the slots so that I could put down the things I wanted using the Alt key so I could manually place what I wanted where I wanted. But this counter here is empty, so you have room to cook. So there you go. Blinds, trash can. Yeah, I don't like where the trash can is, but there was nowhere else to put it. So that's where it goes, and that's where it will stay. On this side of the room, we go into this room at the end of the hallway, and this is the parents' bedroom. Very simple. I do love this wallpaper. I wish, again, that I could use it more often, but it is difficult to work with. You can't do the entire room in this wallpaper, otherwise it's just going to blind you, make you dizzy and whatnot. And then I matched it up with this other wallpaper, which I believe is a pretty darn close to the green on this wallpaper. So I like it. Beige curtains, and then you've got base game bed and some nightstands with a little bit of clutter and some lamps over there as well. I really like how this turned out. It's very simple. There's not a ton of clutter everywhere, but I do like the way that it turned out. It's very calming. And I know there's a lot of windows, but I like it. I like windows. Doesn't have to be on every door or every wall, but I like windows. This is the bathroom, which matches the kitchen as far as the tile work goes. We've got a shower tub combo in case you have a pet or if you have another baby. Toilet, sink, all that good stuff. And blinds up there as well. Then we go into the kids' room. This was fun. I tried to use wallpaper for a child that I rarely ever use, if ever. I don't think I've ever used this one. It is a very tidy room, but we do have a little bit of clutter on the dresser, including a Wabbit tablet. I hate saying that. I feel like I have a speech impediment when I say that, but I know that's the name of the item, so it is what it is. Posters on the wall, her bed in the corner over there. We've got a nice little bookcase here with a little ram stool that she can sit in and read, and she's got her beautiful little flower table lamp with her little fox on there, which is so cute. That is like the cutest little lamp I've ever seen. I love it. And of course, more posters over here, her fairies and cupcake in a box. And then I had to add a purple rug because I didn't have enough purple to go with the wallpaper. And I think all together it kind of blends all right. I like it. It's very bright. It's cheerful. It's fun. It is definitely a girl child's room. I love it. It's so cute. Oh yeah, and then the cloud light. You have to have cloud light, people. Kids' room. Of course you have to have a cloud light. Top down, this is the whole property. As you can see, took me what felt like an eternity to get this roof done the way I was happy with it, but I did get it and I do like it. If we look at the layout, as you can see, it is a U. I did not change that. I just added some few things on the exterior, but the interior, it is a U. But we've got your entry hallway here. You've got your office, living, dining, kitchen, and on the other side, you've got the little girl's room, the shared bathroom, master bedroom, and then, of course, the patio, and then the backyard back here. So that is the whole build. I hope y'all like it. I worked really hard on it. It took me a few hours because I was trying to make it really cute, and I was trying to use things that I don't normally use, like this wallpaper here, this dresser, this bed. I rarely use those things, and I wanted to, use things that aren't the same in every build, because I'll tell you what, man, I'm starting to get tired of myself using the same stuff over and over again. So I'm trying to keep it different. I'm trying to keep it new and exciting, which I don't know how exciting it is, but I'm trying. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, y'all, have fun.